Display during the independence celebrations. 30 persons honored in the West. And a local government administrator says farewell to Grand Bahama.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
Happy 45th Independence Day, Bahamas. This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news, the Commonwealth of the Bahamas officially celebrating 45 years as an independent nation. Here on Grand Bahama, the country's 45th birthday celebrations was ushered in with a cultural display, a tattoo parade, and a fireworks display on the Independence Park last evening. The grand cultural display kicking off with a trip back in history, with performances depicting the slave era, beginning with a combined schools drumming performance, accompanied by dancers from the various performing arts schools, Bahamas Dance Theater, and Georgia Taylor School of Dance. The Grand Bahama Youth Choir also bringing their musical talents to the stage.
Get ready, Mama Africa, for your freedom. Get ready, Mama Africa, for your freedom.
Bahamian entertainer Wilfred Solomon was up next.
Your mama come see the crow, see all the time. Run your mama come see the crow, see all the time. I said a crow, crow, the crow, the crow, see all the time. The crow, crow, the ball, the crow, see all the time. My mama told me 3 years ago I must have married no lazy guy, no lazy guy, no lazy guy.
As performances transition to the modern-day Bahamas, a special tribute to the late, great Ronnie Butler followed.
Early in the morning, as the sun is dawning, I go to the well to get my water today. Get my wood from the bush to make my tea, and eat my bread till I fill my belly. Then I get ready to go outside and play. Get my friends from next door to run with me to the store to get some salt beef and flour.
The Rake and Scrape General Still Leet also bringing tons of energy to the event.
Okay, put your hands on your head. Are you ready? Let's go, let's go! This couple had a problem in their bedroom one night. The wife grabbed the phone calling, they wanna, she dialed.
D-Mac up next, keeping the crowd on its feet.
There's only one sweet spot. 2 of a jamming time to let loose and wine is down in the bush. Oh yeah, hey! 2 of a swinging time to let loose and wine is down in the. So what I do? So I took her down to have a real good time in the bush. To shake up and wind down.
And then it was time to wind down with a performance by the IMC Choir. Followed by a special independence message by President of the Grand Bahama Christian Council, Reverend Dr. Robert Lockhart.
Because we as a people by faith understand that the God that created the world and all the splendors it possessed, created the islands of the seas and has made us a promise. If we continue to trust him through all the ups and downs of our nation, building ups and downs of building nation of which we are all a part, as David said in Psalms 33 and 12, blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. And in Jeremiah 33 when he said, I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, to give you a good future and a good end. We have come this far by faith.
At 10 p.m. the official tattoo began with displays by the Sergeant's Drill, Defense Force Rangers, the K-9 Unit, Motorcycle Unit, Fire Services, and the Law Enforcement Combined Band. After hoisting the flag and a rendition of the Bahamian national anthem by the police band, a grand fireworks display signaled the midnight hour and the country's 45th anniversary of independence. Celebrations reaching a high note over on the island of Abaco as well. Last night, a flag-raising ceremony and cultural extravaganza was held on the BAIC Park in Marsh Harbor. Scores of residents turned out to celebrate the country's 45th anniversary of independence. Italia Hall was there.
Bahamians filled the BAIC Park from as early as 7:30 on Monday night for the cultural extravaganza and flag-raising ceremony. Senior Deputy Administrator Maxine Duncombe officially welcoming the attendees. She says as citizens reflect on the 45 years as an independent nation, she believes that Bahamians can all agree that the country has truly come this far by faith.
The road to 45 years of independence has not always been an easy one. We have faced many struggles and hardships, and we have fought many battles. But through it all, because of our deep faith in God and our love and respect for one another, we have conquered and overcome each one of them.
Parliamentary Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister and Member of Parliament for South Abaco James Albury says the Bahamas has a long history, and although there are some challenges, the strength of the Bahamian people is greater.
And just to think about how far we've come and how much farther we can all go together. It's truly inspiring and heartwarming to think about. And although we may have challenges and trials and difficulties, as a people, our strength is so much greater than all of that.
Minister of Foreign Affairs and Member of Parliament for North Abaco, the Honorable Darren Henfield, also bringing brief remarks. He says he is encouraged by the overwhelming turnout at the various independence events.
I think we have exhibited, from what I've seen here throughout the course of the last 2 days, truly Bahamian pride that I have not seen anywhere else in the Bahamas. And I am so proud. I am so pleased to be your Member of Parliament for North Abaco. God has been good to us. He has brought us from a mighty long way. I remember when we in Dundestown was just a little small fishing village where my uncles used to go on the boat. They used to go from a place called Wollonding. And look at us now. In 1992 we got paved roads. We got schools all over this place. We got clinics that we still need to do some more work on. But by the grace and help of Almighty God, we will continue to build this country into what we believe it ought to be.
The crowd was also provided with a special treat from the Royal Bahamas Police Force as they took part in a mini tattoo. MPs Albury and Henfield then inspected the guard. The Bahamian flag was hoisted. The night ended with a Junkanoo rush out and fireworks to bring in the 45th independence of the Bahamas. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Italia Hall.
And in the spirit of independence, some 30 unsung heroes were honored in the Western District. The recognition taking place during an ecumenical service of Thanksgiving at Central Zion Baptist Church. 30 unsung heroes in the Western District of Grand Bahama honored for their roles in helping to build this nation. The honorees were celebrated for their work with senior citizens, their involvement in the church, their contributions to the education system, sports, and community. Honorees included Cyril Barr Jr., Wilford Bevins, Janet Bowleg, Minister Stephanie Burrows, Bishop Cleophas Capron Jr., Magistrate Gwendolyn Claude, Natasha Carter, Carolyn Ferguson, James Culmer, and Kathleen Grant. Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Bimini, Pakeisha Parker Edgecombe, congratulating the group for their national contributions.
Let us never forget from whence we came and those that made it happen. As we are here today, I wish to congratulate each and every honoree for your love of community and country and your selfless acts that others have witnessed and experienced.
Other works include contributions to the medical sector, community outreach, and their efforts toward mentoring the youth. Those honorees include Ethel Jones, Willie Jones, Dr. Kavala, Nalini Kavala, Charles King, Simon Lewis, Dorothy Lightbourne, Minister Maddie Mills, Pastor Paul Mullings, and Clifford Oughton. Island Administrator Don Cornish also extending congratulations.
Very often, as we said, they are the unsung heroes who make things happen silently. And so I'm grateful that we have the chance on this 45th anniversary to recognize them. And I hope that you will take these plaques and you will see them not just as decoration for your walls, but you will tell your story so that others can understand the contribution that you've made and they can appreciate that each of us has a responsibility to build our nation.
Vienna Parker, Reverend Dr. Michael Pinder, Reverend Alva Parker Roll, Ari Roll, Reverend Lindy Russell Jr., Nell Russell, George Smith, Alicia Dean Thompson, Candice Warner, and Reverend James Young were also honored. Further west, the Commissioner's Field in West End was the location for a grand cultural event during activities leading up to independence. There was fun for the kids, Bahamian entertainment, and of course some good Bahamian food. Deputy Prime Minister and Member of Parliament for East Grand's Bahama, the Honorable K. Peter Turnquest, in attendance. While reflecting on this year's theme, he notes that the event is a remarkable display of patriotism.
That demonstrates in a real way what anchors us as a people, our strong faith in God, our reliance and support of one another, and it sets the stage for us for the next 45 years. We certainly look forward to the continued development of this country, the expansion of the inspiration and the vision and the achievements of all of our people, because that is what's so important. A nation can only be as strong as its people.
President of the Senate and native of West End, Kay Forbes Smith, also taking in the celebrations, while commending the committee for organizing a number of events. Newly appointed Family Island Administrator for the West, Kristen Palacios, notes that while it was a great event, she believes that more persons should have supported the initiative.
We could have had more persons attending, but we've had a good crowd at all the events, but I feel as though more persons could have attended.
First of all, I think that the local government, the Administrator's Office in West Grand Bahama has done a tremendous job this year with the independence celebrations. I believe this event tonight is event number 7. They had a wonderful church service. They also had a beach party for the kids in the community, and I understand they had over 100 kids there.
Celebrations in honor of the country's 45th anniversary of independence touching all communities across Grand's Bahama Island. The West Grand's Bahama Independence Committee holding a gospel concert at the St. Vincent de Paul Catholic Church in Hunters ahead of today's anniversary.
They've all been very successful in our humble opinion. Our signature event was on Sunday with the church service, where we were privileged to honor some 30 members of our community from Williams, Russelltown to West End.
I am pleased and happy with the 45th independence celebrations that is going on. I must point out with this committee, they saw it fit to bring 2 of the events here in the Pinders Point Township community, namely the gospel concert that is taking place right now as we speak, and also the family fun day.
Being a Christian nation, one of the privileges we have is the freedom to worship. So in planning the activities of the West Grand Bahama District Council, we thought it fitting to incorporate a praise and worship concert tonight.
You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Stay with us. There's more news right after this break.
Happy 45th Independence, Bahamas, and many, many more to come.
for independence.